Okay, so this is Kickain, our new kick drum and sidechain module. That is, it's a kick drum and it's a sidechain compressor, and the two controls overlap here in the middle. And we've got the mix coming in here and the mix coming out here, and a trigger going in that fires off the kick drum. So I've got it set up so all the knobs are in the center. This gives you your kind of basic kick drum sound, and then I'm just going to take a few things out and change a few controls so you can understand what they do. Right, start by taking out the reverb and taking out the drive and taking out the click, and we've got a very subtle kick drum sound there. I'm going to bring the drive back in. What this does is it just distorts the sound, the wave of the sound a bit. So from a sine wave to more of a triangle wave and squares, yeah, square wave there. So let's leave it about there. It makes it a bit easier to hear if you're not using headphones, if you're just listening on your phone. Right, so the click introduces that initial click. Got a few variations around here. Resonant noise sounds and just electronic clicks. Decay, so as you'd expect. Attack changes the initial transient. It squashes it. So it's a squashed sound. It doesn't actually fade it in. The reverb adds a kind of rumble, and then that is actually gated by the decay here. Unless you want it longer, in which case just keep turning it. And it gets longer. You can even put a bit of the click in there. So I'm just going to start the sequencer here. So that's running automatically, and show you these two controls. So the bend and the punch. The bend just adds a bit of this decay envelope to the pitch of the drum. And the punch is similar, but it's not related, it's not connected. It's not connected to this decay, it's its own short decay. There. If I take that out. And the two together give you a kind of initial punch, and then you've got a tail. Like that. So you can craft your basic kick drum sound with just these two controls. Like that. Add a bit of rumble. Squish down the transient a bit. Add a bit of a click. We've got some drive. The pitch is just the overall pitch of the whole drum sound. And then we've got the bass cut here, which allows us just to, it's like a safety control really, just to stop it going sort of down below 20 hertz, or 40 hertz in this case. It'll go all the way down to sort of 5 hertz, I think. But just to keep it in the realms of usable audio, we've got a 40 hertz switch here, which you can hear, and then 60 hertz. So that will just stop it decaying any lower. You'll be able to hear that if you're listening with headphones or on a sound system like that. So the sidechain. The sidechain, let's bring in some backing track for this. Like that. I can even turn the kick drum down, and you can hear what the sidechain's doing. Every time the kick's triggered, it turns down the volume of the incoming stereo mix. And even the decay control affects it, and even the attack control does. So that's sharp attack, and that's sort of slightly, just fades it in a bit more. And you can already hear the snare is a bit more audible. It doesn't get sucked out with these very short, clippy attack times. So bring the kick drum back in, and it just helps it, the whole sidechain system helps it to sit inside the track. It's almost like it's carved out its own little hole for it to sit in. And we've got two different modes of sidechain. We've got the normal one, which you can hear, just deals with the volume, and then spectral, which actually EQs it as well. So rather than just turning down the volume, it does a kind of high pass EQ on it that's generated by or influenced by the pitch of the kick drum. So that's what I mean by the way they're intertwined, is that this filtering is dependent on the pitch and the decay settings of the kick drum. You've got Spectral 2, which is a bit more subtle. This is with it switched off. So the in. This takes a little bit of the bass out, but only when it has to. So I'm going to use it on Spectral 1, which is my favourite. Bring that back in. So all the time, the backing track is being processed by the kick drum envelope. So you're getting a maximum of either. So I've got a really short kick drum, you get more backing track. If I've got a longer decay, the backing track gets pushed out of the way, and the kick drum sort of dominates the frequencies more. Play with the controls. Back to normal. Spectral. It's amazing how when you turn it down, you can hear it. You can hear what it's doing. You could put the kick in, and you wouldn't know it was doing it. So there we have it. So that's Kickain, kick drum and sidechain.